Kamala Harris's early career was built on her sexual relationship with Willie Brown, a powerful man in California politics. Brown wasn't just a 60-year-old mentor to the admittedly hot 29-year-old Kamala. He was her sugar daddy, using his power to help Harris climb the political ladder. He gave her important jobs and connected her with influential people. He did more than lay the pipe to her. He laid the groundwork for her future success. Her relationship with Brown had all the elements of a political deal, pimping herself for advancement. Let's be clear, this isn't about an ad hominem partisan Kamala Harris attack. Prostitution is as old as time. If a woman has sex with a man on the first date after he spends $100 on dinner and entertainment, some might call that prostitution. If a woman constantly posts pictures of herself in sexy dresses on social media and makes money off it, she's selling sex. What about women who work out a lot, have great bodies, and even get enhancements to stand out on social media? They're clearly selling sex, so is that prostitution? That was the core of the debate over calendar gate on the so-called conservative side. The women involved were selling sex. This isn't about condemning prostitution. It should be legal. It's not even about sleeping your way to the top. Your morals are between you and God. And when it comes to Kamala Harris, those morals, or lack thereof, played a big role in how she got into power. Kamala Harris didn't become the Democratic Party nominee for the 2024 presidential election by winning the people over. She skipped the primary process, ignoring the will of the voters. She didn't have to face any tough competition or scrutiny, dodging strong contenders like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Instead, her path to the nomination sped up after President Joe Biden dropped out following a disastrous debate that killed any chance of his reelection. Once Biden was out, Harris and her team wasted no time securing the support they needed from party delegates. In just 32 hours, she had locked down the 1,976 delegate votes needed to clinch the nomination. The Democratic National Committee held a virtual roll call vote where Harris got almost all the delegate votes, making her the nominee without a single vote from regular party members. She wasn't chosen by anyone in a democratic process, which fits perfectly with someone who values her body as nothing more than a plaything for those in power. If she's willing to do whatever it takes to get ahead, including giving it, there's no surprise that she would avoid calling Israel's actions in the Middle East a genocide or celebrate the deaths of over 100,000 men in Ukraine without batting an eye. The type of person Harris is continued well beyond Willie Brown. Everyone in Washington, D.C. is ruled by the Israeli lobby, but the Kamala Harris difference is that she married her IPAC babysitter, Doug Emhoff. The dude impregnated his kid's nanny back in the day. Kamala didn't marry him for his integrity. The concerns here go well beyond the obvious issues like high gas prices and inflation. We need to focus on the character of this person cackling while dodging questions with no policy positions on her website. Kamala Harris is a prostitute and a whore. What she did with Willie Brown to make it to the top matters because it shows who she really is. She's still a prostitute, just now to the same cabal that stole the election in 2020. That cabal includes Brian Kemp, Stacey Abrams, Joe Biden, and Lindsey Graham. If Harris were like a Robin Hood Black Widow, using her sensuality to seduce and trick the same people she slept with into redistributing their power to the citizens, I'd still disapprove of her actions, but she'd be my kind of political hooker. But that's not who she is. She got to the top not because of her intelligence or hard work, but because she was willing to do what no one else was willing to do. And she'll use her power in immoral ways. Kamala's recipe for success: mix 1 part ambition, 2 parts opportunism, and throw in a whole lot of Willie Brown. Stir well, and you've got a power-hungry machine that'll do whatever it takes to stay on top. I bet she was outstanding on top. I've always had a crush on sexy Indian women. If she's willing to ride a Viagra-filled old man for power, what else is she willing to sacrifice? She'll be an Indian who grew up Indian her whole life and then lie about celebrating Kwanzaa. She'll lie about smoking weed and listening to Tupac before his album even came out. She'll put on a fake black accent in Atlanta just to keep 94% of the blacks on the mental plantation. When asked if she ever smoked weed, she said, "Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?" Her own father had enough of the embarrassment his daughter had become that the elder Harris sent an unsolicited statement to Kingston-based Jamaica Global Online, stating, and I quote, "My dear departed grandmothers, whose extraordinary legacy I described in a recent essay on this website, as well as my deceased parents, must be turning in their grave right now to see their family's name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not, with the fraudulent stereotype of a pot-smoking joy seeker and in the pursuit of identity politics," he wrote. "Speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically dissociate ourselves from this travesty," he added. Kamala Harris's campaign had no comment. Her own daddy disowned her over a public political manner, and she has nothing to say. Maybe that's why she won't talk to the media. If Donald Trump doesn't bring these topics up and tie them into why they matter, he deserves to lose. Who needs integrity when you've got Willie Brown on speed dial and a cabal to do your bidding? She'll support a Zionist genocide. That's nothing for someone who's willing to bend over on a kitchen countertop to get ahead. Someone who got where they are by doing whatever it took, no matter how immoral, will keep doing immoral things once they're in power. Kamala Harris's decision to pick Tim Walz as her running mate in the 2024 presidential election just shows how low she'll go. Walz is notorious for his stance against free speech, openly saying there's no guarantee for misinformation or hate speech, especially around democracy. This isn't just some slip up, it's a slap in the face to the First Amendment. And the fact that she chose him right after bypassing the primary process, skipping the vote of the people, only proves that she's not interested in democracy at all. Harris didn't have to face any real competition, just like Walz thinks no one should be allowed to question the narrative. This pick fits right in with her shady rise to power, where she's willing to trade anything, including basic rights, for control. If she's willing to pick a running mate who doesn't care about free speech, it's clear she's ready to trample over anyone to get what she wants. So, what's worse, pimping yourself for power or picking a VP who doesn't believe in free speech? With Kamala, you don't have to choose. Kamala and Tim Walz are a match made in ruthless corruption. Who needs democracy when you can just shut people up?
Middle MAGA.